Live Long and Die Laughing, Chapter 33. The last one to the lake is a rotten egg. Last year, I flew to Lynchburg, Virginia to surprise my sister Melissa for her 32nd birthday. I told my brother Mike not to tell anyone. By the time I got there, Missy, Mama, and Daddy were the only ones he hadn't told. The next day, I went camping with Mike's family. Not one of my favorite things. Sleeping bags, fire ants, and porta potties are not my idea of a good time. I would have preferred the Hilton with 24-hour room service, but hot dogs, roasted marshmallows, and mosquito bites were in my future. My brother has a pop-up camper with air conditioning, so that made it bearable. My nieces and nephews, Christopher, Courtney, Chad, and Chelsea, were all excited about the trip. They didn't even notice when the trailer hitch ball didn't fit, and my brother had to go clear across town to get one that did. They didn't worry when we got to the campground and the pop-up camper didn't pop up. They didn't see the sweat pouring off the end of Mike's nose as he cranked the camper up and down, hoping to hear that clicking sound that would assure him the roof wouldn't fall in on us. His kids weren't sweating. I would have helped him, but I had this book to write. I couldn't risk throwing my writing finger out of joint. No, the kids were in their own world, laughing, putting on their swimming trunks, and heading for the lake. To make sure I record everything accurately in this chapter, I just finished watching the videotape of that weekend. At the end of the first day, my brother was lying on the bed in the camper watching the kids play. They were jumping and laughing, playing games, and making faces for the camera. I don't know where they got that from. Every now and then, Mike would break into a big smile. He was too tired to move. He had that wide-eyed stare you get when you want to go to sleep, but you're afraid you'll miss something. He worked hard that day so his children could have a good time. That's his job. He's the dad. He's supposed to have everything under control. When something breaks, Dad will fix it. Kids are supposed to laugh, put on swimming trunks, and head to the lake. One afternoon, while my nephew Chad was playing just outside the camper, Mike and Natasha were inside talking about the things they were hearing on TV about Y2K. Mike, not knowing Chad was hearing every word, said, "There could be food shortages, power outages, no water, mayhem in the streets, people killing each other, and maybe even a nuclear war. Life may never be the same." All of a sudden, Chad was crying. Mike and Natasha realized he'd been listening. Natasha picked him up, put her arms around him, and said, "Chad, you don't have to worry about anything. Your mom and dad are going to take care of everything." Chad clapped his hands, broke into a big smile, and said, "Well, that's that," and he went back to playing. I love that story. Listen to this. The resurrection life you received from God is not a timid, grave-tending life. It's adventurously expectant, greeting God with a childlike, "What's next, Papa?" God's Spirit touches our spirits and confirms who we really are. We know who He is, and we know who we are, Father and children, and we know we are going to get what's coming to us, an unbelievable inheritance. Romans 8:14 through 17 in the Message Bible. So clap your hands and say, "Well, that's that. And the last one to the lake is a rotten egg."